Welcome back to the Dad Days. This is Josh, and I'm going to do another short tutorial style video of how to install or replace an oxygen regulator to a brand new tank. So if you're removing it from an empty tank and putting it onto a brand new full tank, I will show you exactly how to install an oxygen tank regulator. So let's get into it. So you're going to need a couple things. Obviously, you're going to need some form of a regulator. They come in different styles. This is the one that we have. The brand is Sunset. It goes from zero point 0.5 up to 8 liters, a half a liter up to 8 liters. We also have other regulators that go from down to a 32nd of a liter up to about 4 liters. It just depends on your child or your loved one's oxygen requirements. That will depend on which oxygen regulator is prescribed to you. This is a little oxygen wrench that tightens the top of the tank to turn it on or off. And you will also, you might not need them every time, but you definitely want some backup washers that go with your oxygen regulator. That is what will create a good seal and keep your tank and regulator from leaking oxygen. So the first step that you want to do before you start to loosen the regulator and remove it from the tank is you take your little wrench, and it fits right on this little knob right here on the top of the tank, and you want to just tighten it up. It goes clockwise to tighten, counterclockwise to loosen. So you just tighten it up, make sure you have it finger tight. You don't want to bear down on it and break anything, but you just tighten it up pretty snug. And then the next step that you want to do, because if you were to just open this up right now, there's oxygen built up right now in the regulator, and you just don't want to go and loosen the regulator with that built up pressure. So you want to release that pressure. So you can probably hear it. Now it's stopped. The pressure's gone, so you can put your knob back to 0, turn your knob off. Now you're safe to loosen the thread on the regulator itself. Again, that's counterclockwise to loosen, or lefty to loosen, righty tighty, lefty loosey. You've probably heard that before. So then your regulator is safely off of your old oxygen tank. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And a new oxygen tank is going to look like this. It's going to come with a little safety seal to show that it's brand new and full, kind of like a propane tank or something. So this little tab just pops up. They pull right off. And you'll see this side has one little groove like that. This side has 2 grooves. So if you can see the regulator, this side has 2 little grooves right here, and this side has 1 groove. So you want to line that up. And if you can see on the inside of the regulator right there, that's where the seal is, the washer, the spare washers. If you ever install a regulator and it's not, well, one, you want to make sure that you have it seated properly. If it's not seated properly, open it up, take it off, put it back on, try again. But if you just can't seem to get it to create a good seal, you definitely want to check that washer, and that's why you have backup washers to be able to pop that off and replace it. It just pops right out of there, and you can simply put a new one on. So I'm not going to do that because I think it's fine, but definitely check that out if you're having trouble getting a good seal. So right here you can see these two knobs. This is the top of the regulator that says sunset. So I'm going to take those two indentations and put these two knobs right into that indentation, and then you can see, kind of, you can see the other single knob right here on the end of the screw lines up with that single indentation there. So you line everything up, screw it tight. Again, you want to do it finger tight. You don't want to do anything as if you're using a wrench or something. You're not trying to break anything. You're just making it as snug as you pretty much can with the strength of your own hand. And then that's good. Your regulator's in place. You're good to go. Your next step is using your little wrench, putting it up on top, and then lefty-loosey. As you can see, the little gauge on the top of the regulator went from 0 to 2000. This is a D size tank, so there's multiple sizes, but this is a D size. So at 2000, it's full. So we know this is a full tank. We don't hear any hissing. There's no leaks going on. So you are ready to use this tank at this point. You would just use your oxygen tubing, put it right on this stem right here, and then you're free to change the knob to whatever liters you or your loved one requires, and you're good to go. It's really that easy. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful, and as always, stay tuned for more Dad Days.